Now on to goal of the season. So this one has quite a few contenders, as you can imagine, as well. There's been all sorts of goals. There's been quite a few goals considering the way that we've changed our play. And it was a tight vote, I can say, from the three that I've got down that we asked Twitter about. So over to you, Anne. What do you think your goal of the season is?
We've scored a lot of goals this year compared to usual, so it makes it a lot harder. And there's been a lot of good ones as well. So there's two that come to mind straight away, which is Barnes against Sheffield United with that volley, and Maddison at home against Spurs. But I think if I'm going to have to pick one, I'm going to go for that Maddison goal, just because of sort of he picked the ball up and just drove and absolutely levered it into the back of the net.
I can say that neither of them we actually had for our goal of the season as our three nominations, but they're both very good ones. We'll get onto the Maddison goal for another one of the categories. But just over to you, James. Is there any other goal of the seasons that you'd say that was like goal of the season for Leicester City?
Probably Chilwell against Watford. Last few minutes, he's been whipping balls in all game. He gets the ball, he tries to whip it in, it's a divot, and it goes into the top corner. So you don't get better than that. But joking aside, the way he hit it, no goalkeeper in the world would have saved it or got near it. Technique was there, everything was there. It's one of them shots, one of them 1 in a million shots you probably never do again. But for me, when it was scored in that game, was a huge boost for the club. Because again, another game where we looked tired and dead and buried, and we just came out of it.
And yeah, and if they're watching that match alone, Chelsea would have thought 65 mil will pay that right up front. So just on another one, it's over to you, Alex. Is there any other memory or game that you think was goal of the season?
I got to give it to Barnes. I can't remember the game. Can't remember who they played for some reason, but I would have to say the Barnes goal, just because
Sheffield United at home.
Yeah, because just the way he made contact with it, and just I don't think any goaltender could save that the way that went in. And
This was one of the most contested goals that I think that I've seen. Another one that neither of them are on our list because we didn't want to essentially copy the same ones that Leicester City did. But that would be definitely one for me. Another one would be that I've not got on the list would be James Maddison against Sheffield against Newcastle United away on New Year's Day when they gave the ball away from a City position, I think for 2-0, and James Maddison sends an absolute screamer into the top right-hand corner, which, again, as you were saying, nobody's going to get close to. So for the three that we decided to put out on Twitter, because we tried to do 3 for each award, we had Hamza Chowdhury against Newcastle, where he hits the top of the bar and for the, I think, that 88th minute goal. Ben Chilwell against Watford, which is what James was saying. And another one that we were mentioning slightly earlier was the Jamie Vardy lob against Bournemouth, where Ben Chilwell sends it along the wing, and then Jamie Vardy just chips it straight over the keeper, has no chance, and it lands in the back of the net, sending the crowd at home into hysterics. So just out of them three, I'll hand over to you, Alex. Which one do you think that Twitter, or which one do you think you would vote as your goal of the season?
I would say Chilwell versus Watford, because they look dead and buried, just kind of like James said. And I think that kind of just gave him a little bit more energy to finish off the game. And
nice one.
It was an incredible goal.
Yeah, it really was. And over to you. Out of them three, which one would you vote as the goal of the season?
The strike itself from Chilwell was brilliant, but I think with Chowdhury, I love the fact that he was getting booed, he was getting stick from Newcastle fans every touch of the ball because of obviously his tackle on Matt Ritchie in the cup earlier on in the year, and then just go and stick that in the top corner and basically empty St James's Park by himself. I think that was just it was just brilliant. I loved sort of everything around that, just the abuse, not the abuse that he was taking, but just the way that he just silenced them.
And yeah, that's the reason why it was a hell of a strike as well. The way he put it in, a small pass from Ndidi and just laced it into the top of the net. Apart from that, is there any other them three, James? Is there any other that you'd give goal of the season to?
No, I don't think so. Who won the Leicester City one?
So for I think Harvey Barnes for the Sheffield. I think from
Okay.
what Alex was saying as well, but
Yeah.
we didn't want to copy them exactly. But
No, I think for me it's still the Chilwell one. As Ant said, the Chowdhury one was unbelievable. Great touchman, did it. Another one that you hit, probably wouldn't do it again. So I think between them two, I'd still go with Chilwell.
yeah, I think that's a really good one. So from the 3 goals that were given, that we'll go them in alphabetical order. And again, it was a very close one compared to some of the other results that we had. So with 29% of the vote, we've got Newcastle away, the Hamza Chowdhury goal. 32% was Watford, the Ben Chilwell Watford one that James was talking about. And with 39% of the result was Jamie Vardy against Bournemouth at home. So as you can see, that Jamie Vardy seems to have won that, and it's one of the great goals. I don't believe it's probably one of the goals of the season, in my opinion. I think from what you guys have mentioned as well, the Harvey Barnes one definitely wants a mention as well. James Maddison one definitely has a mention as well. But I'd say overall, probably, and I'd agree that the Ben Chilwell against Watford would probably be my goal of the season.